Hello, my dear friends. Today I'm excited to share a detailed story on the topic, how to speak English. This isn't just a story, it's a guide, a reflection of real-life struggles, and an inspirational journey that many of us can relate to. Speaking English is a skill that opens doors to countless opportunities. Whether you dream of studying abroad, landing a great job, or connecting with people from all over the world, speaking English fluently can help you achieve those goals. But the path to fluency isn't always easy. It's filled with challenges, self-doubt, and moments of frustration. However, with determination, the right strategies, and consistent practice, anyone can become a confident English speaker. In this story, I'll walk you through the journey of Alex, a young man who transformed from being shy and hesitant to a fluent English speaker. Along the way, we'll explore practical tips, methods, and mindset shifts that can help anyone on their journey to learning English. So, let's dive into Alex's story. Alex was a 25-year-old software engineer from a small town. While he was great at his job, he always felt limited by his inability to speak English fluently. His work often required communication with international clients, and Alex struggled to express himself clearly. Whenever he had to speak in English, he would freeze, stumbling over words and feeling embarrassed. One day, after a particularly awkward meeting, Alex decided that enough was enough. He knew that if he wanted to grow professionally and personally, he had to overcome this barrier. He made a promise to himself. He would learn to speak English fluently, no matter how long it took. Step 1. Understanding the basics. Alex realized that before he could speak English confidently, he needed a strong foundation. He began by revisiting the basics. Learning vocabulary. Alex started with simple everyday words. He kept a notebook where he wrote down new words and their meanings. To remember these words, he created sentences using them and practiced saying them out loud. He also downloaded a vocabulary app to learn 5 new words daily. Improving grammar had always been a tricky area for Alex, so he purchased a beginner-friendly grammar book. Instead of trying to memorize rules, he focused on understanding how sentences were structured. Alex practiced common tenses like present, past, and future by creating sentences about his daily activities. Listening to English, Alex began watching English TV shows and movies with subtitles. He listened to English songs, trying to catch and understand the lyrics. Podcasts became a regular part of his routine, and he chose topics that interested him, such as technology and personal development. Step 2. Overcoming the fear of speaking. One of Alex's biggest challenges was speaking English without fear. Like many learners, he worried about making mistakes and being judged. But Alex learned some powerful lessons that helped him overcome this fear. It's okay to make mistakes. Alex realized that making mistakes is a natural part of learning. Instead of avoiding speaking, he embraced his errors as opportunities to improve. He reminded himself that even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. Start small. Alex began by talking to himself in English. He would describe his day, his thoughts, and even what he wanted to eat for dinner. This practice built his confidence without the pressure of speaking in front of others. Find a speaking partner. Alex joined an online language exchange platform where he connected with people who wanted to learn his native language. In return, they helped him practice English. He also started attending local English conversation meetups. These groups were filled with supportive learners like him, which made speaking less intimidating. Step 3. Building fluency through practice. Fluency doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of consistent practice. Alex followed a structured routine, daily speaking practice. Alex dedicated 30 minutes every day to speaking English. He spoke with his language exchange partner, practiced dialogues from movies, or recorded himself speaking. Listening to his recordings helped him identify areas where he could improve. Thinking in English. One of the game-changing techniques Alex adopted was thinking in English. Instead of translating from his native language, he trained his brain to form thoughts directly in English. At first, it was difficult, but with time, it became more natural. Using technology, Alex used apps like Duolingo and HelloTalk to practice English. These apps provided interactive exercises, real-time feedback, and opportunities to chat with native speakers. He also set his phone and social media accounts to English, immersing himself in the language. Step 4. Expanding knowledge through immersion. Alex understood that immersion was key to mastering English. Although he couldn't move to an English-speaking country, he created an immersive environment. Surrounding himself with English Alex labeled items around his house in English. For example, his fridge had a note that said refrigerator, and his desk had a note that said workstation. He replaced his native language books with English books. Joining online communities, Alex became an active member of online forums and groups focused on his interests. These platforms allowed him to practice writing and engage in discussions with people from around the world. Traveling when possible. A year into his learning journey, Alex planned a short trip to London. This was a big step for him, as it pushed him to use English in real-life situations. Ordering food, asking for directions, and chatting with locals gave him invaluable practice. Step 5. Staying motivated. Language learning can be a long process, and Alex faced moments of frustration and self-doubt. However, he found ways to stay motivated. Setting clear goals. Alex set specific milestones, such as being able to hold a 5-minute conversation or give a presentation in English. Celebrating small victories kept him encouraged. Finding inspiration. He followed YouTubers and bloggers who shared their English learning journeys. Their stories reminded him that he wasn't alone. Keeping a progress journal. Alex documented his progress in a journal, noting down what he had learned and areas he still needed to work on. Real-life challenges and how Alex overcame them. While Alex made remarkable progress, his journey wasn't without obstacles. Let's explore some of the specific challenges he faced and how he tackled them. Challenge 1. Forgetting words during conversations. One of the most frustrating moments for Alex was forgetting words mid-conversation. He would know the vocabulary but struggled to recall it when speaking. Solution: practice and repetition. Alex started using spaced repetition apps like Anki, which helped him reinforce his memory of commonly used words. He created flashcards with phrases instead of individual words. For example, instead of just learning excited, he memorized sentences like, "I'm excited to meet you." During conversations, if he forgot a word, he didn't panic. Instead, he paraphrased or used gestures to convey his message. Key tip for learners: focus on phrases and contextual learning instead of isolated words. This helps you recall vocabulary faster during real-life conversations. Challenge 2. Dealing with pronunciation issues. Alex realized that people sometimes misunderstood him due to incorrect pronunciation, especially with tricky sounds like "the" in words like thought and through. Solution: shadowing technique. He began mimicking native speakers by using the shadowing technique. This involves listening to audio recordings and repeating what is said immediately, matching the tone, rhythm, and pronunciation. Alex found TED Talks and YouTube videos particularly helpful. He played them at a slower speed initially and gradually increased the pace. He also used online tools like Forvo to hear the correct pronunciation of specific words and practiced them daily. Key tip for learners: don't aim for perfection, aim for clarity. Focus on making your speech understandable rather than trying to sound exactly like a native speaker. Challenge 3. Maintaining motivation over time. After the initial excitement of learning English wore off, Alex found himself struggling to stay consistent. There were days when he felt like giving up, thinking, "I'll never be fluent." Solution: finding purpose and community. Alex revisited his goals and asked himself why he wanted to learn English. He wrote down his reasons and kept them visible on his desk. He joined online communities like Reddit's, r/dar, language learning, and local meetups, where he connected with other learners. Sharing struggles and successes with like-minded people reignited his motivation. Watching success stories of other learners on platforms like YouTube reminded Alex that fluency was achievable with persistence. Key tip for learners: connect with a community of learners. Sharing your journey with others helps you stay accountable and motivated. Advanced strategies. Alex discovered. As Alex progressed, he started experimenting with advanced techniques to take his English skills to the next level. 1. Watching without subtitles. At first, Alex relied heavily on subtitles while watching English content, but he gradually transitioned to watching without them. He started with animated shows and sitcoms like Friends because they used everyday vocabulary and clear pronunciation. Initially, he missed some words, but over time, his listening comprehension improved significantly. Key tip for learners: don't get discouraged if you don't understand everything at first. Focus on the context and keep going. 2. Recording and reviewing. Alex began recording himself speaking about different topics for 2 to 3 minutes daily. Listening to his recordings helped him identify areas where he needed to improve, such as pronunciation, grammar, or pacing. He compared his recordings over time and celebrated the noticeable progress. Key tip for learners: record yourself regularly. It's one of the most effective ways to track your growth and build confidence. 3. Using humor to learn to make learning more enjoyable, Alex explored English jokes, memes, and stand-up comedy. This not only enriched his vocabulary, but also taught him cultural nuances. Key tip for learners: incorporate humor and fun into your learning routine. It makes the process enjoyable and less stressful. Building confidence through real conversations. At first, Alex found it nerve-wracking to speak with native speakers. Thoughts like, "What if they don't understand me?" or "What if I make mistakes?" haunted him. But he quickly realized that most people appreciated his efforts and were patient with him. Key strategies Alex used: start small. Alex began with short interactions, such as ordering food at restaurants or asking for directions. He practiced sentences like, "Can I have a coffee, please?" or "How do I get to the train station?" Focus on listening. During conversations, Alex concentrated on listening carefully rather than rushing to respond. This gave him time to process and understand what was being said. Ask for repetition. If he didn't understand something, he politely asked the speaker to repeat or rephrase. For example, he'd say, "Sorry, could you say that again?" Key tip for learners: don't fear mistakes. They're a natural part of learning. Most people are kind and willing to help if you show genuine effort. Daily routine for fluency. To stay consistent, Alex created a daily routine that combined various aspects of language learning. Here's what his typical day looked like. Morning: 20 minutes of listening to podcasts or audiobooks while exercising. Writing a short journal entry about his plans for the day, focusing on using new vocabulary. Afternoon: watching a YouTube tutorial or TED Talk related to his interests, pausing to note down unfamiliar words. Practicing shadowing with a 5-minute clip from a favorite show or speech. Evening: speaking practice with a language partner or tutor for 30 minutes. Reviewing flashcards or vocabulary apps like Quizlet. Key tip for learners: create a routine that balances all skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Consistency is more important than long study sessions. The turning point: gaining fluency. One day, Alex found himself in a situation that truly tested his progress. He attended a networking event where English was the primary language. Initially, he felt nervous, but as he started talking to people, he realized how far he had come. He introduced himself confidently. "Hi, my name is Alex. I'm learning English, and I'd love to hear more about what you do." When someone mentioned a complex topic, he didn't panic. Instead, he paraphrased what he understood and asked clarifying questions. "Do you mean that?" By the end of the event, Alex had exchanged ideas with several people and even made a few new friends. That night, he reflected on his journey and felt a deep sense of pride. The shy, hesitant Alex from a year ago had transformed into someone who could express himself clearly in English. Alex's advice to fellow learners. Alex realized that learning English wasn't just about studying, it was about embracing the process, making mistakes, and growing along the way. Here's his advice: set clear goals. Know why you want to learn English, whether it's for work, travel, or personal growth, having a purpose keeps you motivated. Immerse yourself. Surround yourself with the language as much as possible. Watch movies, listen to music, and interact with English speakers. Practice daily. Even 10 minutes a day can make a difference. Consistency is key. Be patient with yourself. Fluency doesn't happen overnight. Celebrate small wins and keep going. English is one of the most widely spoken languages in the world. Whether you're learning it for travel, work, education, or personal growth, becoming proficient in English can open up countless opportunities. However, for many learners, speaking English confidently can be a daunting challenge. This guide aims to provide a step-by-step approach to mastering spoken English, covering essential aspects such as pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and conversational skills. Whether you're a beginner or looking to refine your skills, this guide will equip you with the tools and strategies needed to communicate effectively in English. Chapter 1. Understanding the Basics of English 1.1. The importance of English serves as the global lingua franca, connecting people from diverse backgrounds. It is the primary language of international business, science, technology, aviation, and entertainment. By learning to speak English fluently, you gain access to a world of information and opportunities. 1.2. The structure of English understanding. The basic structure of English is essential for speaking it correctly. English sentences typically follow the subject-verb-object SVO order. For example, subject, the cat verb, eats, object, fish. Sentence, the cat eats fish. Chapter 2. Building a strong foundation. 2.1. Learning the alphabet and phonetics. Start by familiarizing yourself with the 26 letters of the English alphabet. Practice their sounds and combinations, as English has many phonetic rules and exceptions. Phonetics helps you pronounce words correctly. For example, a can sound like apple or father. Practice common sounds like chach, shesh, and teeth. 2.2. Expanding vocabulary. Building a rich vocabulary is crucial for speaking English fluently. Start with everyday words and phrases, such as greetings, numbers, days of the week, and common objects. Gradually expand to include more advanced terms. Tips for learning vocabulary. Use flashcards to memorize new words. Read books, articles, or watch videos in English. Group words by themes, such as food, travel, or emotions. 2.3. Understanding basic grammar. Grammar forms the backbone of any language. Focus on tenses. Learn the present, past, and future tenses. Articles. Understand when to use a, an, and the. Prepositions. Practice using words like in, on, at, etc. Chapter 3. Developing Pronunciation and Accent 3.1. The role of pronunciation. Clear pronunciation ensures your words are understood. To improve, listen to native speakers and mimic their sounds. Practice tongue twisters to enhance clarity. Focus on stress and intonation patterns. 3.2. Common pronunciation challenges. Many learners struggle with silent letters, e.g., K, in no. Homophones, e.g., to and to. Difficult sounds like V and W. 3.3 Tools for pronunciation. Use pronunciation apps like Forvo or Elsa Speak. Watch English movies with subtitles. Record yourself speaking and compare it to native speakers. Chapter 4. Practicing Speaking Skills 4.1. Engaging in Conversations. The best way to learn is by speaking. Start simple and gradually build confidence. Find a language partner, join a language exchange group, or hire a tutor. 4.2. Thinking in English. Train your brain to think in English rather than translating from your native language. Practice by narrating daily activities in English, writing a journal in English, responding to your thoughts in English. 4.3 Role-playing scenarios. Simulate real-life situations to practice speaking. Examples include ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, introducing yourself in a social setting. Chapter 5. Enhancing Listening Skills. 5.1. Active listening. Listening is a crucial part of communication. Improve your skills by watching English news or podcasts, engaging with audiobooks, practicing shadowing techniques, repeating after a speaker. 5.2 Recognizing accents and dialects. English is spoken differently around the world. Familiarize yourself with various accents, such as British, American, and Australian English, to improve comprehension. Chapter 6. Mastering Fluency and Confidence. 6.1. Overcoming Fear. Fear of making mistakes often hinders progress. Embrace errors as learning opportunities and practice regularly. 6.2 Building Confidence. Celebrate small achievements. Participate in public speaking or debates. Surround yourself with English speakers. 6.3 Time Management. Dedicate consistent time to practice speaking. Short, daily sessions are more effective than irregular, long sessions. Chapter 7. Using Technology and Resources. 7.1 Apps and Websites. Use tools like Duolingo, Babbel, and Rosetta Stone for structured learning. 7.2 Social media and online communities. Join English-speaking forums, watch YouTube tutorials, or follow influencers who share language tips. Chapter 8. Advanced Strategies. 8.1 Idioms and Phrases. Learn commonly used idioms to sound more natural. Examples: break the ice, start a conversation. Bite the bullet, face a difficult situation. 8.2 Improving Intonation and Stress Practice. Varying your tone to convey emotions effectively. For example, rising intonation for questions, falling intonation for statements. 8.3 Debating and Public Speaking. Join speaking clubs such as Toastmasters to refine your skills and gain confidence.